Hi, this is PR Sundar. Welcome to this special episode where I am going to talk about real estate. You know, in the recent budget, so they made a lot of changes to long-term capital gain tax. Long-term capital gain tax for equity market has been increased from 10% to 12.5%, and short-term capital gain tax has been increased from 15% to 20%, and that's for about equity market. But for real estate, what they have done, they brought the long-term capital gain tax from 20% to 12.5%, but they have removed the indexation benefit. So because of this, the people were not very happy and there was a lot of backlash. So because of that, recently they have amended that, and now they are saying those who have bought properties before the budget, they will have an option. Either they can pay 12.5% without indexation or 20% with indexation. Now, first let us start with, what are the changes done by the BJP government in the last 11 years. They were in power for 10 years, so 10 budget were presented. Now this is the 11th year, so 11th budget is also presented. So in these 11 budgets, what are the changes they have done? The first what they have done, earlier if you buy a first property which is called self-occupied property, you will be getting a tax benefit for 2 lakh rupees that you are paying towards the interest, and then 1.5 lakh rupees that you are paying towards the principal amount. But that 1.5 lakh is actually not a big use because that 1.5 lakh goes under 80C. Already the Provident Fund is already under 80C, that already will be exhausted. So the real benefit is only for 2 lakh rupees towards the interest payment. That is when you buy your first property. If you buy a second property or third property, then whatever the interest that you are paying to the bank, that can be shown as expense in your book, so you can claim the tax deduction. Of course, the rental income you have to show as income and you have to pay tax for that. In India, if you want to go and take a loan for a real estate, it may cost about 9%, whereas the rental may be a maximum of 2.5%. Then out of that 2.5% also, 30% you set aside for maintenance. So the effective net rental yield is less than 2%. So for 9% you get the tax exemption, for 2% you pay the tax, which means that almost for 7% you can get tax benefit. So in first budget, what they have done, they removed this. They said that whatever the interest you are paying, that cannot be shown as expenses. You will get the tax exemption only for 2 lakh rupees for each property. Now, assume that somebody is getting property for about 1 CR, right? His rental yield will be about 2 lakh rupees, okay, but his interest payment will be about 9 lakh rupees. But now, you can claim a tax benefit only for 2 lakh, not for 9 lakh. Okay, you claim benefit for 2 lakh, you show rental income 2 lakh, that means your tax benefit is 0, right? Of course, you will get some tax benefit if the property is less than 1 CR. More than 1 CR, then you will be at a more disadvantageous position. So this was the first change they brought in. After some time, they brought the second change. What they said, no, you will not get 2 lakh rupees benefit for every property. In your whole lifetime, you will be getting 2 lakh benefit only for one property, not more than one property. You buy one property, maybe after some time, like you become more wealthy, you want to dispose this property, but you want to buy another bigger property, also you will not get that. You have a second property, third property, no, nothing. You will get only one property. In that case, what happened? For the people who buy the second property, 9 lakh rupees, 9% they will pay interest, right? For that, they will not get any tax benefit. The 2% they get the rental return also, they have to pay tax. So effectively, a complete tax advantage is gone. It has become very, very negative. That was the second change they have done with respect to real estate. Then the third one. Earlier, you sell a property in one place, you buy a property in another place, you don't have to pay the tax, no capital gain tax. But what they made some changes, now up to 10 crore, no problem. You sell a property for less than 10 crore, same amount you buy a property in another place, no need to pay tax. But the moment you sell a property for more than 10 CR, let us say you sell for 25 CR. You sell a property for 25 CR, another place you buy a property for 25 CR, now they say only for 10 CR is tax exempted. So the remaining 15 CR you have to compulsorily pay the tax. They are the third change. Now, in all these three changes, who are the affected people? The affected people are mostly second house buyer, third house buyer or bigger people. Right? Very small people, middle class and the lower middle class people were not affected. But in this budget, what they have done, they said that whoever is making profit without indexation benefit, you have to pay 12.5% tax. That affects a common man, and that is why there was such a big backlash. Now, let me give you some simple arguments. I'll give you arguments in two different forms. Number one, somebody is making money, the first thing he will do, he will try to buy an apartment, that he can save the rental income. He doesn't want to live in a rental income, roti, kapada or makan. So everybody needs a house and he buys. Now, let us say one guy is buying a property for 10 lakh rupees. Maybe after 20 years, he would have paid about 20 lakh as the interest. So the total he has paid about 30 lakh rupees. But if he sell the apartment for 15 lakh rupees, now the government says you bought for 10 lakh, now we are selling for 15 lakh, for 5 lakh rupees you pay the tax. But whereas he paid 20 lakh rupees interest from his pocket, right? So his cost of the apartment is 30 lakh, but still he is liable to pay tax. Now, you tell those who are having a second property, third property, you ask for 12.5% tax or 20% tax or 50% tax, nobody is going to bother. But how fair it is to ask for tax from one person who is holding only one property? Why? Let me tell you. A person who is buying a house, he needs that house until he dies. So, he will never sell the house or never sell the apartment. When he will be selling his apartment? When there is something very, very bad situation comes to his life. Say for example, he got some rare disease, he is not able to meet with the medical expenses, or he lost his job, so his survival has become a question. So in that pathetic situation only, he will be willing to let go the property where he is living. So just imagine how much distress he will be having in his life, and then now you go and ask him, you pay the tax. So how fair it is? Number one. Number two, the other side if you see, a person who is having money, the first thing he will buy an apartment, and then second thing he will buy some gold, and the third only he will come to the equity market. In equity market, if he is making a profit, long-term capital gain tax, first 1.25 lakh rupees, no tax. Beyond that, whatever profit is there, only for that the person pay the tax. Whereas that kind of threshold was not given to real estate. I think in real estate also they should give, okay, you are making 10 lakh rupees profit, you don't have to pay capital gain tax. More than 10 lakh rupees, whatever your profit, that you can pay, at least that is reasonable. Definitely a person holding only one property will not like to sell the property until he dies, and if he is selling, that means he is in distress and you are asking for tax from the distressed person. That's why, very famous dialogue I used to tell, collection of tax must be like, honeybee taking honey from the flower, without any damage to the flower. Not like, sugarcane juice is taken from a sugarcane. Even in equity market, somebody is having, some shares, okay, he can sell the shares this year, so that he book 1.25 lakh rupees profit. Remaining shares he can book profit next year. So every year he can book profit 1.25 lakh. Over a period of 10 years, he can get 12.5 lakh rupees without tax. But an apartment you cannot do. Can you sell the hall this year, bedroom next year, kitchen next year? Not possible. So therefore, in equity market it is 1.25 lakhs. No, that kind of exemption is not fair. There must be more exemption. So my whole point is that the people who are holding one property, they will usually not sell. If they are selling, that means they are in distress. From the distressed people, collecting tax is totally unfair. Now, when I say these people always say, sir, look at other countries, they are even charging more. You see America, even the capital gain tax is more than that. Okay, this video we will stop here, but then in the next video I will compare how those countries do the taxation, in what way we are different, and what we should do, what we should not do, and also is it better to rent an apartment or to better buy an apartment. All those things we will discuss in the next video. Hope you enjoyed watching this video. Thank you for watching.